policy. That's been referenced many times today. What exactly did you mean by having an insurance policy in case, I would assume President Trump won the election or was looking like he was going to win the election?
So I appreciate that question because it is taken very much, I understand it's ambiguous and that people have taken it out of context. The insurance policy was merely an analogy to you do something when something isn't likely to happen. You're probably not going to die before you're 40, but you have an insurance policy anyway. What we had before us was an allegation that something significant, that members of the Trump campaign may have been working in cooperation with the Russians. And some people were saying, hey, look, this sensitive source of information that's so sensitive, so vulnerable, we shouldn't put it in here because sometimes if you go out and do aggressive investigation, if it's a drug snitch or an intelligence source, you can cause significant harm. And a lot of people looked and said, hey, well, look, all the pollsters, everybody in the world is saying it's not likely that President Trump's going to be elected, so don't worry about it. We can just let this lie. I had a different view, and I said, you know what? It doesn't matter whether or not he's going to be elected. We need to do our job. We're the FBI. We need to aggressively go out there, pursue the allegations, because...
Let me ask you this.
I want to finish up because
it's a question. Do you think that James Comey leaked out about the reopening of the Hillary email investigation because he needed a, quote, insurance policy to cover his back for predetermining that Hillary Clinton was innocent in the email investigation before it ever even began?
I don't think Director Comey leaked anything with regard to that I'm aware of with regard to the Clinton investigation. I certainly do not think I, or anybody else viewed any investigation or any step in the sense of what you're saying that we needed to do something to prevent any particular action at all.
With respect to the clear bias of Donald Trump in your text messages and your clear prejudice against the Trump voters, and by the way, I'm one of those smelly hillbillies from Appalachia that you referenced in your text, you were in a supervisory role at the FBI. What would you do if you found a text from a subordinate of yours that exhibited the same type of bias that you had towards a group of people that were key witnesses or key whatever to the investigation? How would you handle that scenario?
Sir, if I found a text for a subordinate that was expressing a political opinion, one, I don't think I'd see it, and two, I think it's entirely appropriate. If your question is the text was about a target of an investigation, talking about the target, that's an entirely different matter, and I'd bring that subordinate in and counsel them. But those are apples and oranges. They are not at all the same.
Well, I'll conclude by this statement, Mr. Chairman. I believe that this is a bad day for the FBI. I believe that we have an overwhelming majority of quality FBI agents and intelligence agents all across the United States and all across the world. But it's unfortunate that when reading the Inspector General's report and sitting here listening to your testimony, watching the reactions from some of your colleagues behind you with rolling their eyes and frowning faces, and it's just very discouraging as a member of Congress that we've tried this hard to get information. The American people want to know. This Russia investigation has been going on for a long time. Many believe that it is a witch hunt. It needs to wrap up, but from what we've heard today, there are a lot of problems with your credibility as the lead agent in the entire Russia investigation. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Does the gentlewoman from Texas, before we close, and we will now be closing, does the gentleman from Texas desire a couple of minutes to make any closing remarks?
Mr. Chairman, thank you for your indulgence. This has been a long day. First, let me thank the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the agents that I've worked with in my years of service on Judiciary and Homeland Security, the aftermath of 9/11, which I had the lack of distinguished position to be in the United States Congress during 9/11 and certainly in the aftermath of the investigation. Let me thank the FBI and Mr. Strzok for their service. Let me quickly say this and then conclude my remarks. I want it to be clear that General Flynn, in his offense, asked the Russian ambassador to refrain from escalating the situation in response to sanctions that the United States had imposed against Russia. Following, a whistleblower then said that he referred this to Mr. Flynn, that the sanctions would be, quote, up to allow money to start flowing to one of Flynn's business projects. Did you have anything to do with any comments by General Flynn?
No, this is not for asking questions, Ms. Jackson.
I will leave that on the record, Mr. Chairman. I thought that it would be good to clarify it because I've asked others, but let me finish my remarks. In the concluding comments, Mr. Strzok, again, I believe this hearing in its long period of time showed no bias in the decisions regarding the final report on Hillary Clinton's emails. She was vindicated. Nothing changes the Russian interference in our elections of 2016. Unfortunately, no questions were asked by the Republicans about the Russian interference. And the GOP, in many instances, would not let you, Mr. Strzok, answer the questions. Finally, the hearing did not give the American people, I think, the important answers that they needed, and that is, how will we secure our elections in 2018? That unfortunately plays into Putin's hands. It also did not respond or did not answer, what do you do when White House officials have not gotten their own security clearance? And finally, let me be very clear. When our country is attacked, I want to make sure that the FBI and not the KGB shows up. We need to do a better job of answering the concerns of children that have been snatched away from their parents, the violation of voting rights, the need to end gun violence, and many other issues. But today you stood the test of time. At least you've admitted fault and certainly admitted that you would have wanted to do things in a better way, as I've gleaned from your testimony. But it cannot take away your service in the United States military, your service to the FBI, and your willingness to offer, if you will, your deference and your concern about the continuation of the FBI and its service to this nation. Mr. Chairman, I hope that the Judiciary Committee and Oversight Chairman, I believe, is not present, but in any event, that we will take up the issues that the American people desire, and that we will solve problems which are important to the democracy, security, and the values of this nation. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Thanks, gentlemen. Many members on the other side of the aisle have attempted to denigrate this investigation and, in particular, this hearing today. One going so far as to calling it stupid. This investigation and hearing aren't just about reviewing the 2016 election, however important that is. This is a much bigger matter. Our investigation and this hearing goes to a larger global and existential issue of equality under the law. So for my Democratic colleagues to call this review stupid denigrates the importance of our founding principles and the core of a system of justice. I venture to though, in trying to get answers to many important questions. I understand that you have refused to answer many questions on advice of the FBI. You've also said that you cannot answer questions on advice of counsel because they could disrupt the ongoing Mueller investigation. So we are presented with a situation where you have not answered questions from Congress under the cover of the FBI and Special Counsel Mueller. Neither the FBI nor the Special Counsel is mentioned in the Constitution. Congress is, and we have a constitutional right to have answers to the many questions that have been posed to you. While you have consistently referred to the FBI as the ultimate arbiter who is preventing you from answering questions today, the FBI director reports to the Deputy Attorney General. The FBI is a component of the Department of Justice. So at the end of the day, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein, who has oversight over the Federal Bureau of Investigation and of the Mueller investigation, is where the buck stops. We now consider the department on the line, in addition to the FBI, for failing to permit you to answer questions that don't even go to the substance of any investigation, but have focused on your involvement in the process of those investigations. This is unacceptable. Congress has been blocked today from conducting its constitutional oversight duty, and more importantly, the American people have not received answers on why our chief law enforcement agencies and agents and lawyers operating within them permitted improper bias to permeate through 3 of the most important investigations in our nation's history. The Constitution's construct of congressional oversight over the executive branch has been severely undermined today. We will resist latest attempts to prevent us from getting to the facts. This is not over, and you, as well as future witnesses, are on notice that fulsome answers are expected promptly. With that, this hearing is adjourned.
Peter Strzok, you're fucking fired, dude. Thanks for tuning in.